Hi guys, and welcome to Deku Tarot. Today, I'm going to be doing a Leo supermoon total lunar eclipse for January 20th to 21st reading. Okay, so this is going to be talking about the supermoon, or blood moon, wolf eclipse. Is it blood wolf moon eclipse? I don't know. There's all these different names for it. I was not aware, or I hadn't been calling it by the blood wolf moon. But then when I was just looking up on some things on Twitter, it was coming up as that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm going to talk about all the aspects of this supermoon eclipse here and really get into how this is going to change us and what type of energies this is going to bring up, because this is a huge eclipse. It came up in the weekly readings, that whole energy for, the 14th through 20th readings, that is just massive change, massive shifts. It's all stemming from this energy, from the January 20th, 21st total lunar eclipse. We have the sun, as it has just moved into Aquarius at that time, so it's going to be 0 degrees Aquarius. The sun will again be at 0 degrees Aquarius, and then we will also be having that shine on that 0 degree full moon in Leo. So this is going to be huge, going to be absolutely massive for the fixed signs, especially, and especially if you have Aquarius or Leo, or if that's your sun sign or moon sign. If you hold a lot of placements in either of those places, it's going to be huge for you. We also again have Venus joining forces with Jupiter and Sagittarius, and together with Mars. This is going to promise a lot of blessings to those who have the courage to travel into the unknown. So we have that. We also have, again, Uranus making this really powerful square in 28 degrees Aries, which is only 2 degrees off of Taurus. And if you guys have been following me for the past, I want to say like 8 or 9 months, I've been talking about Uranus and Taurus, and it's about to go direct on March 6th, but right now it is in Aries. And when it moves direct into Taurus on March 6th, it's going to stay that way for the next 7 years, and it's going to bring huge changes. And I will be doing some videos on that, but if you guys haven't looked up any information on that kind of change that is going to happen astrologically, or you haven't been looking up, what Taurus in Uranus is going to mean, you should probably go check it out, because it's huge. So this is going to be a really huge shift. It's going to make a lot of us uncomfortable. There's going to be feelings of discomfort before the eclipse, after the eclipse, during the eclipse, and I really want to stress that this is not an eclipse to put too much pressure on manifesting, on creating, on making something happen, because it's not going to be one of those eclipses where, everybody looks at their watch on that full moon solar eclipse and says, oh, it's time to go and call up that person, or oh, it's time to go do this. It's not going to be like that. Because I think a lot of people put all this hype into this energy and say, oh, right when the solar eclipse happens, when the lunar eclipse happens here, or whenever there's a full moon, this is going to happen. That's when the people start coming out of the woodwork, and it might be when things start. But I'm not going to say, hey, everything is going to happen on exactly this day at exactly this time. Don't expect things like that, because again, lunar eclipses, supermoons, this is a total lunar eclipse, and it will last up until that next eclipse, and even probably beyond that. This energy is huge, and it will last for at least 6 months. Okay? So, this is really going to be, especially, I want to talk about the square, the Uranus, 28 degree Uranus square that we're having on that, because that's a really, really important aspect of this, and it's going to bring up a lot. Okay? Because squares are points of tension. They ask us to kind of slow down and really look at who we are, what we want to be. It makes us kind of reconcile aspects of ourselves that do not work. So, and Uranus is a really shocking, extreme planet that just goes in and just throws everything up. And that's why it's going to be so huge in Taurus, which is the fixed earth sign. It's not known for, changing direction, being this way, doing things that way. Tauruses are known for stability, for doing things the same way, and being comfortable with that, and not really deviating. But Uranus is the absolute opposite of that. So it's really interesting. It really turns things on their heads. So with that kind of energy in that square there, we're going to have I feel a more internal than external things coming up and things happening. Again, that's what I've been trying to say about this, is yes, there is this huge energy for a lot of shifts happening, a lot of big things happening, but a lot of it, I think that we are going to have to realize is going to be internal. A lot of the changes, a lot of the things that will be coming up in extreme ways. And even though we got so many extreme cards for the 14th through 20th weeklies of January, I just think that, this is just the beginning of this energy. This is just saying these are the things that are going to come up. And I'm not saying that they're going to come externally to you like, oh, Greg's going to come up and ask me out because, that's what the supermoon says. It's going to make people more confident. No, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen right then, but he might realize around this time, hey, I should probably ask, Josephine, I don't know, I'm just giving names here, out here, I want to go and ask this person out, or I want to go pursue this. But it's coming to those realizations and realizing what has been holding you back. What has pinned us back here. Again, it's going to be also, again, focusing, again, very internally. We're going to have these things come up internally, so be open, okay? Don't be, closing the doors this week. I really want to stress that, in the week before and the week after and around that eclipse and that supermoon, please try to keep yourself open. Try not to numb ourselves out from these feelings, because a lot of things are going to get kicked up, and we're going to have to really feel through this, again, this supermoon total lunar eclipse. I got to find a better way to say it, because it's such a long, annoying thing to say. Excuse me, just going to have some coffee. Overall, it's going to have us focusing on how do we show up to this world. What do we, how do we need to change? What do we need to change about ourselves? It's very destabilizing with Aquarius and Leo, because they're such, again, they're two fixed energies, and they're both at 0 degrees. So they're both extremely powerful, and I cannot stress enough how powerful that is, because it's extremely illuminating. Things become extremely clear, extremely almost transparent. It brings things to the surface and says, do you want to deal with this right now? Because now is the time to face up these feelings, face up these situations. How can we make things better on a global scale is what Aquarius asks as well. Where do you fit into the collective? Who are we to the collective? Who are we to the world? And how do we fit in here? How can we change things on a global scale, for our whole lives? Because Leo is about leadership. How do we stand in the world? How do we come across? Who are we to this world? And Aquarius says, how, again, how do we fit in that collective? So putting those together, we get this almost uncomfortable feeling. It becomes uncomfortable because of the square, because of all this other energy that's coming up. We also have a Venus square, we have Venus squaring Neptune. And that's going to really make us want to run away from this energy, want to escape it, want to, pack our bags and say, no, I ain't dealing with this right now. I'm not dealing with this right now. It's about discovering who we are and who we want to be. And, having the things that no longer serve us come right up to our faces here. It's almost like somebody turns on a light and you can no longer unsee the things that you've seen in the dark here. And I feel that's the information that's going to be coming into us. These are the revelations that we're going to be coming to. Are the things that aren't working for us. Where are we dissatisfied? Where are we not happy? Where would we, actually need change? What are we not happy about? These feelings of absolute discomfort are going to come up this week of, why am I feeling upset about this? Why do I feel left out? And you're going to have to look into that instead of numbing ourselves. Don't go out drinking with your friends. Don't go out, and distract yourself from all this. We need to really feel through this if we want to move forward. If you want the rewards if you want to change in the way that this supermoon, this eclipse is having us change here, and it's asking us to change, then you will bring a lot of things into your life. But if you don't change, if you don't focus on it, and you don't open yourself up to what's coming in here, and we block it all out through, distractions, or, however else we, block things out when we don't want to deal with them, then we're not going to grow from this. Nothing is going to change, and we're just going to, have this moon go by and be like, oh, it's just another full moon. Nothing happened. Bullshit. And you don't want that type of energy, do you? So allow it to come in. Be open to this. I really suggest being as open as possible, being as relaxed as possible. Don't push yourself too hard at this time, but also don't distract ourselves and numb ourselves to what's coming in. So it's kind of almost like internally we need to stay open. We need to stay clear. But anyways, with the Venus squaring Neptune, we're going to find out things probably that we can't unknow. And that's going to be huge for us. We can't live in fantasy because during this, full moon, during this eclipse, because Aquarius and Leo aren't really about that. If this was a water full moon, maybe a little bit more fantastical, maybe a little bit dreamier, but it's not that. It's not that at all. This is coming right up in our faces and showing us things and having us finally understand these feelings, and we can't unknow them. We can't forget about it. It's not something that we can just put out of our mind and be like, oh, okay, I can just move on now, forget about that, and just continue on doing what I'm doing. No, these are life-changing revelations, life-changing situations that are being brought to our attention here, that are, we can't unsee, we can't unknow here. Neptune is at home in Pisces, which is good. It's very seductive, passionate, sexy energy. Again, it can take us into a fantasy world. But again, we need to we need to shut out that side of us that wants to live in fantasy and ignore the reality at this time. What we really do need to notice from that energy, though, is noticing what we are really loving and what really makes us happy when we aren't distracting ourselves. What brings you happiness, what brings you joy when we aren't distracted, when we aren't numbing ourselves out, when we aren't, closing ourselves off to these feelings. What energy is coming in, and what makes us, what do we love? What makes you happy? What makes you excited? What drives you at this time when we are totally, clear, when we are open, and, we're feeling through all these feelings of discomfort, of stress, anxiety, maybe why aren't things working here and there? A lot of us are going to look at our relationships and, take a good hard look at that and say, hey, do I really want to be with this person? What does this relationship offer me? And what do I need to change? Is this really going to work out, or is it time to call it quits? Again, we're looking at what and who really make us feel alive without really needing to numb that part of ourselves. Again, feel these feelings, allow them to come in, whether they be destructive or, passive. I think a lot of us here are going to come to revelations that we're going to be very different from, even where we were at the beginning of the year, at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. We could have said, oh, I want this, and then all of a sudden now you're realizing, no, I think that this is what makes me happy. I think that this is what makes me comfortable. And I know that this is such a rapid change. It's only been 15, 16 days or so, but it's not. These things are happening for a reason. The supermoon is bringing this up. And again, I would say don't make any extreme decisions in the week before or the week after. Again, full moons and especially eclipses, because it's going to be very powerful, and you want to sort through this fully and, see who you are when you come out on the other side of it, honestly, before we make any huge decisions. I'm not going to say that all of you aren't going to make decisions. Some decisions, some revelations are going to come up and you're going to say, no, I understand this now and I'm ready to make this decision, and that's fine too. But I would say try to hold off on making any extreme and very intense decisions until maybe a week or so after this all is over. We're again with the feelings that are going to come up. We're going to say, why do I feel this way? Why don't I want to feel this way? When we become uncomfortable by something, if we realize that the feelings and the situations and the thoughts that are coming up here are making us uncomfortable, the most important question to ask when that happens, when we realize how uncomfortable it makes us, is why does it make us feel uncomfortable? Why don't we want to feel this feeling? Why do we want to run from it? We need to really look at it, sit in this energy, sit in this feeling, and realize what it's trying to give us here, because it's trying to bring us, it's trying to bring us up. It's trying to bring us to where we want to be. It's trying to give us what we want here. And all we have to do is be open to it. It's trying to give us, some direction here in getting where we want. It's trying to help us get there. But if we don't change in the ways that it asks us to, and in the way that, it's bringing up here, if we don't recognize these feelings, we don't understand them, we don't take the time to really sort through this and see what it's trying to say, then it's not going to change us. And we're not going to get to that better place that we've been trying to get to. So we really need to open up. We need to be interested in the information that comes in. We need to not try to manifest, not try to control it at this time. We need to just allow it to come in here. Again, I really feel like we're really preparing for Uranus and Taurus. I'm going to go back to that a little bit, because I just think that that's a huge aspect that is coming into play here. And I mean, it's going to be a huge, huge shift for the next 7 years, where everything that we thought was grounded in reality, especially, again, if you are a fixed sign, if you are a Taurus that is born the first, I want to say 10 days of Taurus, or even a little bit before that, the end of Aries, you're going to feel this really, really hard this year. There's going to be a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. It's going to destabilize your lives. I'm not just talking to Taurus, I'm talking to anyone that is a fixed sign here. This is going to destabilize us on a really internal level of, all of a sudden we're looking like this guy. We're looking like Thor in here, like, oh boy, how do I move forward? How do I garner my strength? How do I really overcome this? And the universe is here backing us through it. And that's why, I mean, I know it's just, I have these cards out just because it's Aquarius, the moon, and Leo, but it's also very important to know that. I'm going to pull a couple little cards here as we continue talking about it, because again, I just want to stress how uncomfortable a lot of these feelings that are coming up are, and not to run from them. I need to stress that a lot for you guys, and I really want to also stress not to take this moon so seriously that you need to do these all your rituals. You need to be manifesting, you need to be writing this down, doing this on this night. Don't treat it that way. Allow it to come in. Stay open, stay relaxed, stay positive in the week before. Maybe even, I mean, I don't mean like manifesting on like a serious level, but maybe just think about where you want to see yourself, what you want to be, what type of life you want to have, you know, and imagine being happy. You know, what makes you happy? Imagine your wishes coming true here, and I do think that the universe will provide you the answers on how to get there. And they might be uncomfortable, they might not be what you want to hear, but they will help you get there. Again, I feel like a lot of us here are going to be realizing how we've stopped ourselves, and it's going to be like, oh my God, how did I do that? So when this happens, are we going to do the same thing that we've always done? Are we going to have the same partnerships, same relationships? Are we going to turn to the same people and looking to situations and people from our past especially that really don't serve us? Are we really going to keep looking back? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves. Are we going to keep looking back? Are we going to try to date the same people, have that same energy moving forward? Or what do we need to change so that we don't do that anymore? Where have we blocked ourselves? And I think that that's going to come up with that. Where have we held ourselves back? What are we so afraid to feel through is when this, is what's going to come up at this time. So a lot of us, again, are going to be presented with things that we are going to need to feel through and really just sit in this energy and feel it and be like, why do I feel this way? Why? And why is this coming up now? And it's going to offer you a closer look at that. That's going to, help you make the changes that you need to within your life to bring in the life that you want. All right, so let's get some information on. I'm going to do some things for fixed air for the Aquarians. What can they expect in terms of change? Aquarians, Leos, Tauruses, Scorpios. I'm going to look at the fixed signs first. Fixed sign energy during this. Changes in fixed sign energy. I'm using my tiny little ghost ones that I wanted to because they've got the little moons on the other side of little ghost cards, minis. So let's see. Fixed signs. What are they going to be going to? What are the important revelations, important changes that will be coming up during this eclipse here? And I really want to pull this one first. Let me get the Knight of Wands. Again, following our passions, following what makes us happy. Going for it. That's the kind of energy that I get there. He's so cute. He's just like a little tiny guy. And then we get the Star. Again, there's that Aquarian energy. How do we fit into the collective? How are we giving back with, I feel like, again, with Leo, we're going to be following. Look at how perfect this is. There's that Leo energy. There's that, or that fire energy. There's that Aquarian energy. How crazy is that comes out that way? But, again, I think that we're going to be following our passions here and really enjoying the information that comes in from the collective, and also thinking about, how we can give back, how do we heal on a larger scale in terms of the world, in terms of who we are, in terms of helping others, and who we, how do we stand in this world is really what I'm saying. How do we take what we love and make something that can give back, make something that fits into this universe in a really amazing way. Again, also, how do we heal ourselves from the past? How do we move forward on new ventures, new energies that are going to help us instead of hinder us? Anything else for the fixed signs? What will they be experiencing? The Five of Wands reversed. Again, stay open. It's like we're going to realize, I think, what we've been fighting. We've been fighting certain energies. We've been fighting, people in our lives. We've been nitpicking, and this way or that way, we're going to be like, oh my God, that's why. I need to just allow it to come in. I need to stop fighting this energy. I need to stop fighting this situation. A lot of times we're going to, realize that. Why are we fighting a situation that is just trying to come in and give us something more? And we get the Chariot. And, I think it's kind of funny that shows up because with that 0-degree full moon in Leo, we're right again, sort of just after Cancer. We have that Cancer energy throughout the week here. And Cancers are going to be feeling it big too, but also it's giving us the power to really take the Chariot's, you know, reins in our hands here and move forward in the direction that we want to, but we have to be open to that. And what can all these changes lead to for the fixed signs? Again, I think a lot of us here are going to be reevaluating relationships, you know, what we're doing in our life here. The Hermit, yeah, this is the need to go within, to not be so hard on yourself, to go within, listen to what is coming in here, and be open to it. The Hermit goes within and makes those changes. He takes the time out from the daily rat race. He takes his time out here from, you know, being a part of everything, from running around, doing this, doing that, and he says, no, I need some time alone. I'm going to sit with these feelings. I'm going to feel through this and decide where it's going to take me. I'm going to allow this to take me through. I'm going to allow these messages to come in and transform me. You might be feeling a little bit alone, but look at this. And we get the Sun, and that's also a card that I associate with Leo. So this is really, really nice, guys. I do think, again, we're going to be realizing, you know, that success is within us. That happiness is within us, that we can create this. We can bring this out into the world as long as we, you know, take what we have learned within us here. Take, you know, make the necessary changes, follow our passions, allow whatever is coming in here to come in and learn from it. Going within and making those necessary changes, and then understanding things. You know, when the sun shines down, like I was saying earlier in the reading, nothing is hidden. When you turn on the lights, you can't unsee what you've seen. When you look outside, you can't unsee that tree. You can't unsee this when the sun is out, you know. You can't unsee things that have been shown to you. And something is being revealed to you, and it's going to lead you to success, lead you to happiness, despite how uncomfortable, how painful, it might be to close out certain chapters. It might be to end certain aspects of yourself, of your life here. It's going to lead us to the sun. So that's really, really wonderful. Now let's check out what's coming in for my more mutable signs during this full moon lunar eclipse. The blood wolf moon is the blood wolf moon. I feel like weird calling it that, if I'm being honest. And I believe that it's called that, and I actually looked this up because I was like, I wonder why it's red. You know, a little bit of the sunlight is refracted by the Earth's atmosphere, bending around the edges of the Earth before reaching the moon, causing the moon to get a reddish tint. The moon doesn't disappear from sight, but does become 10,000 or so times dimmer than usual under that, okay? So interesting. Well, that's during the eclipse part of it, but I just was curious about the red coloring. I did not know. I thought it was maybe from Venus, but that's why I am not a scientist. All right, so let's see. Mutable signs. How will this affect my mutable signs? How will this supermoon total lunar eclipse in Aquarius and Leo here, how will it affect my lovely mutable signs? When we get the Magician, it's going to give you guys a lot of power. You're going to realize your own power here. Realize, oh, hey, I want to do this, and I can do it. We're going to realize that anything that we wanted to do, we can do it. We also could be moving forward on emotional ventures, talking about our feelings, dealing with our feelings here. Maybe wanting to, again, some of us that are single are realizing, oh, hey, if I change this about myself, I can totally, you know, especially in terms of relationships or even our emotions here, we're finding fixes. It doesn't have to be to like, oh, this is what I need to change about my personality or self here in order to bring in love, and it's just communicating love. Some of us here need to communicate our feelings. We need to talk about our feelings, talk about something. Also is saying that on an emotional level, we're shifting. We're becoming somebody new emotionally. Five of Pentacles reversed. We're getting rid of this energy. For those of us who have been alone for a long time, those of us who have had trouble with money. Again, if this, what was I going to say? If the full moon in Leo, again, is in your second house of money, then this is going to be really good financially for some of you. For some of us, again, it's going to make us see and feel the necessary changes here that we need to make in order to bring in that money, in order to bring in what we want here in terms of career, in terms of money, really establishing that wealth that we haven't been able to, and we haven't been able to really touch here. Because the Five of Pentacles is being lost, left out. But when it is reversed, we're finding that way in. We're getting that money. We're no longer feeling that lack. And Two of Cups, again, some of us here are, you know, bridging the gap, I think, in love for a lot of you guys. A lot of you mutable signs, you guys are bridging the gap. You guys are coming together here. We're getting past whatever was holding us back here. Especially in love and relationships. We could also be entering new partnerships. It doesn't have to be love. Or really coming together with people because we have a deeper understanding. And we're understanding, you know, what needs to die here in order for the love and the happiness and the camaraderie to live. Page of Wands, again, following new passions, new ideas. We have this new energy here of, I want to go this way, I want to go that way. What drives us? Again, that's coming up as what drives us and how do we make it happen? Oh, wait, I can do all of that. Oh, wait, I feel it and I know how to express that now. I understand how to get rid of this. This is at the center of your reading here, is the Five of Pentacles reversed. So whatever this be for you guys, whether it be money, a lack of money, a lack of, connection with somebody, you're getting out of it. And we're coming into love, a new beginning in love for some of us here. Or, again, there's a new partnership that could lead you to new directions. It doesn't have to be love, it can be career. But it's like a new start, and it's like, hey, come on, let's go. I'm so ready for this now. I know what I needed to change here in order to make it real, in order to make it happen. You guys are making those changes, and it feels so positive. So, guys, I hope that was helpful for your new moon. Why did I say new moon? Oh, my God. I'm on that new word because of what I was just talking about. Anyways, this is your reading and little kind of guidance through the Leo supermoon total lunar eclipse for January 20th to 21st. I believe we're going to be able to see it in all of, or most of North America. What do I have written down here for that? We're going to have a lot of new possibilities. Again, I just want to say again, new possibilities need to be embraced at this time. New possibilities, new ways of thinking. Embrace it. Don't fight it. Allow it to happen, okay? It's really got a visionary potential to it that is going to transform us. Anyways, what I wanted to say, though, I think it is, it doesn't tell me here. I don't know if it's going to be visible. Oh, here it is. Yes, it'll be visible over Northwest Africa, Europe, and the UK. I don't know if it's going to be visible. I know that I was reading online that it's going to be visible in North America and South America. I'm not going to claim that I know 100% on that one, but if you guys can watch it, absolutely go check it out. I don't think that in the Americas we're going to be able to see it, but again, I think that it will be visible in Northwest Africa, Europe, and the UK. Alright, and it's going to last like 1 to 2 hours. So check that out. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to be open this week. Don't push ourselves. Eat well. Drink a lot of water. Be open. Maybe keep a journal for, journaling what comes in and maybe how to deal with it. Take some extra time out for yourself this week to really embrace and feel whatever is coming in at this time, okay? And really work through it. Alright guys, check out your weeklies, and I will have your February monthlies going up pretty soon, so check those out as well. And if you want to book a private reading, please do so with all the information right below this video in my description box. Also guys, make sure to subscribe and share. It helps so much, and when I get to 10,000 subscribers, I will be doing a huge giveaway. So again, thank you so much guys for all your support. Check out your weeklies and your yearlies, actually, your 2019 yearlies, your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Alrighty guys, thank you.